guy, you're a bug.
Listen, before this encounter starts,
Yep, I'm about to go.
I'm calling it out, pointing my bat to the sky. I'm calling the shot.
Yeah.
I am not going to take a single hit this entire encounter. And
All
you
right.
have
Wow.
my word.
Wow. All right.
Kane, I would like to ask for some clarity.
Yeah, go for it.
This does not. I don't want to like. There's a tough balancing act between like playing a hand, but also like I don't want it to come down to it.
Yeah.
And I've run into the strike zone to try to set up a moment. Application of this jellyfish that
Yep.
renders somebody's defenses. How do I apply that to a target?
I would assume it's to like a fight roll or a shoot roll. You have to apply the venom and then strike at someone, basically. So it would, unless you come up with some crazy way to like touch somebody to it. I guess if you wanted to, you could touch it to them. It would be an athletics against that target's athletics.
If I were playing a burglary character,
Our
I'd certainly
burglary.
find a way to finagle that onto them.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna offload this onto another character. But
Are you?
okay.
Yeah, I like.
Convince someone to eat it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But
my power jellyfish fell out of my pocket. Don't eat that. Roll a deceive.
Oh no. I mean, that being said, we can come up with shit. Like I had even thought, hey, what if they do like poison food with this? So I'm pretty open to applications, but let's just figure it out when we get to the moment, is what I would say.
Okay.
And I know this is a lot, so I'm just going to go through a few of the key things here. We got a huge fucking map to deal with because this is kind of like, I would say, the ultimate, like, basically the final fight of this island, I can imagine, unless you guys do some dumb shit. We'll figure it out.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. But the points of interest that I want to call out first are the forge up here. That is what you guys discovered earlier, so you don't have to try and find it. And in order to remove Rostovan's manacles, you're going to have to roll against a craft 6. If you tie it, it'll break his manacles at the start of his next turn. But just keep that in mind. You guys have to be in that forge area to actually attempt to break them. Another thing is, since you brought Lucas Mueller with you, he has the aspect Blacksmith's Apprentice. So that doesn't give a free invocation, but if you have him in that zone, you can use a fate point and tap that aspect. My question, I guess, would be, first off, who is going to take Lucas, and they would get a +1 fight or a +1 athletics?
I'll take him. Everyone else is too slow.
Yeah. I take him. Okay.
You're too slow.
You can add a +1 fight or a +1 athletics. I would just say choose now, and as long as he's in your retinue, you can add that. The other thing is there are currently two exits to this map. There is one here through these main kind of gates that have been opened. Then there is one in the upper corner here as well, kind of behind Petra Kraus. Keep that in mind. Since you guys decided to engage during an open conflict, I damaged every single enemy in here, and the bosses, so we have him and Petra, start with 1 less fate point and 3 less health. Something that I think like just reflects interrupting a battle mid-fight and makes things a little bit more approachable. Does anyone have any questions about this fucking huge-ass map or anything they want to clarify before we get going? No? Okay. Just keep in mind that these black squares, I'm going to start doing this, there can only be as many players in a zone as there are white spaces. So in these large areas, it really doesn't matter, but you do have these kind of choke points, and something to consider if you decide to camp up there.
And it seemed like people laughed when I was saying it. Am I actually not allowed to take Lucas?
You guys decide between yourselves. Lucas would add a +2 crafts if they try to do the forge. So I don't know if that's something that...
Well, my immediate move here when we start is to do something towards Lucas. So.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what let's see. What I would say is that since Declan moved one zone and acted, I would give each of you the chance to move one zone. And Rostovan, is your action something you'd want to roll for, or is it more of a communication thing?
It's a roll.
All right.
Light him on fire
Yeah, maybe.
for no reason.
Take his hands, then we can use those to
Yeah, just put him on the end of
blacksmith.
put him on the end of my man.
So, before we get started, all the people in this zone, you can move up to one zone away from you if you want to. Once that's resolved, we'll start playing. Is everyone staying here or moving forward?
I ain't going nowhere.
Suppose I'll move forward.
Okay.
I'll also move forward.
Okay. Sounds good. Then I'm going to get some music started and we will get playing.
Bayonetta songs start playing.
Yeah.
I don't like to start with that one. Let's do... It's random, but I don't want that random.
You shuffle 3 times and it just keeps picking the same one every time.
Yeah, right.
That's how the dice work.
All right. So at the beginning of conflict, we will re-engage on Crow, who has taken his lance and ran it straight through Arnoux at a long distance, pulling him into a zone. The camera will pull back even farther, and you will see a number of church faithful start running in your direction, Crow. And while you might be preparing for a blow yourself, you see that they instead rush past you and start delivering their swords into the guts of the criminals that have taken their city. I've already rolled done all the damage for all these people, so for the rest of you, you just see this bedlam continue to swallow the city. Kind of ignorant of you for the time being. We will then focus on Nyx, who is going to point forward and say, "Free the lawbringer!" They're going to rush forward, and Nyx is going to try and angle his sword at the rope that you've cast, Crow. So he's going to tap or use these other 2 grunts and give himself a +6 fight, which I would allow you to contest with your athletics to try and maintain your grip on Arnoux.
Alright, we have to open our sheets at some point.
Yep.
I am going to utilize one of the free invocations.
Yeah, you have... Sorry, you have 1.
Oh,
Let's
there's 2
use the
dots
fate
on
point.
him.
Oh, those are his fate points.
Oh, God.
If you look at that grip, these icons are specifically advantages that you have on him.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll use it now, because otherwise it's immediately going to go away when this man succeeds with a flat 6.
Okay. On a tie, let's just say that the free invocation is gone, but you still have him currently speared. As Nyx launches forward, and you kind of have to bring the rope taut against your hand and drag Arnoux a little bit off to the side. And it comes a bit loose in his coat, but he still is not free of it. Let's see. Meanwhile, the archers on top of here will start firing down on the neighboring faithful, and you'll just hear the thwick of arrows as more and more bodies start piling up. Pale Lady, you're up.
All right. What's his will? Or no?
I feel like I'll tell you once you roll.
Okay. Apparently, I also don't have my sheet open. Here we go. I guess my thought is to try to command him not to resist.
Okay, so you want him to fall and like stop trying to counter the impaled aspect?
Yep.
He's going to try and resist with a 3 will. Okay. 2's pretty good.
Great.
Describe to me what happens as your song kind of pierces through the battlefield.
The Pale Lady will sort of emerge from behind Crow, doing her part of the agreement that they had agreed upon that set them on this course in the first place. And she will target the person that he has impaled with this haunting song that, while soft, still manages to carry through the sounds of metal clanging against metal and fire and shouting as it reaches his ears.
Yeah, the stout man will try to kind of close his ears to it, but then there'll be kind of a cry of pain as he realizes he has to refocus on the impaled implement. Crow.
The wiser thing to do when dealing with any parties to eliminate what you can. So he makes sure to verify that he checks the tautness of the rope to make sure Arnoux is still on it, but then draws a hook from one of many on his belt and attempts to draw it. He'll swing for this one, and this coming fight roll will determine whether this narration was worthwhile.
2 fight. It's the contest.
I fucking knew it.
Yep. You try to find a window to leverage your time and your kind of your skills, but the faith will get in your way and kind of knock you back. Rostavon, you see the rest of your compatriots charge forward, and Lucas, kind of near you, says, "Good thinking. Let them sort that out, and we'll sneak in behind."
Damn it. He's going to turn around towards Lucas, and he's going to say, "You get me to the forge."
Yeah, unfortunately, he has a 2 will currently. So
No.
he will just frown deeply and say, "Yeah, that's why I'm here. You think I'd choose to invade a castle like this during a time like this? This is a full blooded warfare we're running into."
All right. I guess despite his failed attempt to provoke him, he'll still say, "Wait, do we know where the forge is?"
Yep. You know it's in the top right up here.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll say, "All right, well, let's get moving then. I'm not getting in the middle of that."
I'm glad to hear it. I'll say, kind of settling down after you yelled at him a bit.
Does Rostavon maintain an action since Sean rolled before determining whether that action had any mechanical point at all?
No, I could give him an action.
That was a case of that was not an action.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm good for you to have an action and a movement still.
Huh? Oh.
You didn't need to provoke him because he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's in character for him to yell at him after this goes tits up. So I guess, yeah, I'll move. I want to move over here. Can I spend my action to go further then? Hello?
Of course, I'm muted. Wow, incredible. Yes, if you use, you have 2 movement, you can use your final action to move 1 zone, so you can end up over here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Then kind of sticking to the shadows, and Lucas pulling your shirt sleeves, you will duck behind the worst of the fighting and emerge to a group of men which seem to be hunkered down, looking across a vast field up here, where a number of arrows just stand pin-cushioned against wooden chairs and tables that have been rolled out.
Okay. Who are these guys aligned with?
They are aligned with Arnoux. They don't seem to consider you right now.
Okay. Got it. Also, is everyone else hearing music?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it.
It's a little quiet, so it might
I
be
heard the
contingent
first
on
song
your
and
volume.
then...
But just check your volume. This one is a little subtle.
No. God damn it. Oh well.
Okay. Well, on your turn, you are going to watch, just as you kind of crest and look into this crowded square, you see one of the guards rush forward and immediately get picked off by an arrow. And another one that seemed to be right behind him immediately stops in his place and just kind of like cowers behind a table. Meanwhile, back in kind of the worst of the fray, we're going to start with Arnoux. He's going to roll a 3 provoke against you, Crow, for damage. 1. Okay. Arnoux kind of grabbing the end of the rope and trying to tighten his hold over it will look directly across to you, Crow, and say, "You're obviously a skilled hunter, but you're not hunting rats anymore." He's gonna just try to like pull it a bit closer to you, kind of locking eyes across the way, and you feel a bit of a confidence swelling in him as he looks across. Meanwhile, let's see. This man on the rooftop is going to shoot down at you, Pale Lady, with a 3 shoot.
No, take
I
me.
suggest he doesn't.
Kind of tracking the sound of your song, he will notch an arrow. Okay, not bad.
Hi-ya!
And he will force you to kind of duck into a very shallow doorway, which doesn't seem to give you much coverage, but it prevents the arrow from piercing your flesh.
Kind of some splinters that kick off of the doorway as she slinks behind it.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the rest of these men are going to start clearing out some of the faithful. It seems to be, though the battle has just started, it seems to be in the favor of the criminal element, which just has raw numbers. The faithful have plenty of sharpened steel, but it just doesn't seem to be holding out too well against just the swarm that's descended upon them. Rakote.
I'm gonna start making my way also to the forge. So it's 1 space for free, and then if I want to go farther than that, have to roll again, or have to roll athletics.
You don't have to roll anything. You would just use your action to do so.
I'm gonna try it because it's just a flat roll. Because I would like to try to take the defensive action if I get there. So I'll roll athletics to move more than 1 space.
Unfortunately, that's not how the mechanics work.
Oh, that's not how it works. Okay.
Nope. Nope,
Alright.
not in this case. It's either move 1 and have an action, or move 2.
Okay. Then I will just move. I'll move twice. I'll try to move twice.
It's free. You can do so.
Okay.
It's
don't know what
it's like a guy
happened.
ordering off Amazon and he doesn't know how Amazon works.
I don't.
No,
yeah.
no worries. It's a new system. We're
I'll
figuring
pick
it
it
I'm
out.
the fucking lady trying to order French fries at Taco Bell and getting like actually mad. Yeah, I move twice. Rakote, not understanding how his own legs work, I guess, just idles in the door for a little bit, deciding if he can walk that far. No, he will sort of regarding the burgeoning fight. Just kind of turn his eyes under his hat towards the forge and start hobbling without real haste.
Yeah, you will come upon Rostavan and Lucas, who regards you coldly and says, "You can tag along, just don't slow us down."
He's just gonna look at him under the brim of his hat. He doesn't have anything quippy to say.
Okay. And he will turn his attention back to you, Rostavan, ready to run if that's what you decide to do. Meanwhile, his kind of quip is cut short by a loud bell that seems to be ringing from the southwest end of this town. It's just kind of ringing out against the sound of the sides of the buildings, but there's no immediate sense of what it foretells.
Cut short by an arrow that punctures his lung.
I'm going to move all of these. Crow, directly across from you, these swarm of criminals are just beaten down by the sharp steel of the faithful as they let out a cry and continue moving forward despite their pains. And it'll be Nyx's turn, who's going to leverage his 6. And he's going to try and fight you with a 6, Declan.
Great.
Yep.
Fuck you!
There we go. There we go. Okay. He and his two cronies, Clinton amongst them, kind of surround you, and they seem to be cutting off your escape passages. Nix, in particular, is just kind of twirling his blade and counting out his paces, preparing to lunge forward and strike. Pale Lady.
All right. I'm going to try to set the gentleman closest to me to attack his friend here.
All right. Challenge of 0. If you succeed, they will kill him. Guess what he does? Clinton, despite himself, will turn his attention, and Nix will just say, "Steady now. We're almost..." But he doesn't even get to finish it as Clinton lashes out and beheads the man to his left.
Like this idea of him whipping around and beheading him, thinking that some other enemy has snuck up on him, and realizing after the moment of clarity sort of catches him that it's his comrade falling to his knees.
Nix will just shout out, "Someone shut that witch's mouth!" Crow.
Crow is going to... man, guys, the numbers are not on my side, rolling against a flat 4 that never changes, if that's his fight.
It is.
You said you wouldn't take damage, okay?
I haven't taken damage, but I don't know that I can deal damage to him if he's going to stick at a flat 4 all the time.
Make some advantages, bro.
Oh my god, this fight's going to take 7 hours. I'm going to... I'm gonna try to use physique to pull Arnoux into Nix and set him off balance.
Okay. Arnaux's physique is a 4. I just want to get that out of the way now.
Grading it on this guy is the challenge now.
Oh,
Nix.
Nix.
Here.
Okay. His physique is a 2. Uh-oh.
Come on, give me one. Oh my god.
He will stomp on the rope as you go to pull it forward and kind of angle you or pitch your feet forward, dragging you closer to his sharpened blade.
I'm gonna...
Do you stay in zone?
Yeah, no, this is not going the right way, so Crow is going to use 4 athletic stat worth of movement to just head to the rooftops.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. The challenge to climb a ladder in this situation is a 1.
Yep. Hey, we can do this, right? Roll 20? Oh, just barely.
All right.
How
Cool.
generous. So I have 3, right, with a 4
Yep.
athletics?
Yep, 1, 2. You've got one more.
I guess I'll disengage the advantage from Arnoux.
Okay.
Let the man stomping the rope yank the thing out, and Crow is going to run away from it like a little kid at recess, yank his bone spear after him, and with alarmingly fluid movement, snake up the ladder like a shark through water and just be upon this person before they even realize what's happening.
Yeah. To the rest of you on the ground, it seems as though Crow just disappears. There's a quick movement as the spears are retracted, and then a movement of eyes and a few men shouting up, "He's up there!" Rostavan?
I'm gonna look at the other, the other chucklehead guy who's here.
Yep.
And he's going to say, is there nothing to hide behind in here?
Not without using like a existing aspect of like heavy smoke cover or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Currently, there's no statistical thing for you to tap on.
All right. I'm going to. I'm gonna attempt to ignite this guy's body to create smoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Challenge of 0.
Gotcha.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be 2 invocations of smoked remains.
Okay. Yeah, he'll sort of stand in the on the precipice of this entrance, and he'll reach out with both of his arms and start to cause this guy's body to just light up and melt, and then turn into some vapors.
You'll
And he's
see.
gonna,
Go ahead.
he's going to turn to the guy to the right, and he's going to say, "Once that smoke fills enough, you go first, and we'll cover you."
You can see real fucking terror in this guy's eyes as his compatriot is turned into immolated flesh right before his eyes. But he looks between you and the body and the little dagger in his hands, and he just nods. Would you like to... Technically, the aspect is existing right now. Would you like to move, or are you going to spend your turn here?
I'm gonna wait for this guy to go.
Okay. Got you. It'll be Glenn's turn, who is going to trigger these guys as well. So currently, Declan, you have this guy and this guy who are going to try to shoot at you with a 3. Okay.
It's not a hit.
Not a hit, just a boost. As the kind of your feet are pressed to the shingles start kind of like coming out underneath your feet, but you hold yourself upright as a number of arrows sail overhead. So we got that. This guy's dead. One moment. Okay. And then Glenn is going to kind of hunker down in the center of this square and shout up to you. I'm going to try and create a... No, let's just do a flat provoke. Provoke against your will for damage, Declan. Okay, very good. He will shout up to you. You should have pressed your advantage before we had time to prepare. It was sloppy work.
Crow's gonna makes a note to kill Rakote and Rastavan later. As
Speaking
Arnoux
of...
justify. Why are you calling him Glenn? What is this now?
Glenn Arnoux. Lawbringer Arnoux.
All right, listen.
I'll
That's
just
not the
do
name we know
Arnoux.
him by. We have 3 other names for him, and Glenn isn't one.
Okay, sorry about that. Arnoux.
In college, he went by Mookie.
Yeah,
That will be on the test.
he's going by Aces right now.
Yeah, but this small figure will still shout out, kind of booming through the smoke and the fire up towards you. Rakote, you see the body kind of burning and Lucas close behind Arastavan. What do you do?
I'm gonna start making it look like I'm gonna walk into the smoky room. But before Rakote does that, he'll clutch his cane and sort of turn his direction to the Mortal Kombat ninja that's over here.
And I'm sorry, it's on the previous turn. He technically would be running out. Do you want to get a last word before he runs
no,
out?
if he's leaving already, then no, I'm not gonna. I was
Yeah.
gonna try to get rid of him. I didn't realize he was already. I don't know why I can't pay attention to anything tonight or grasp
No.
anything.
Don't worry about it.
I started a new medicine and I feel like it's fucking me up. All right, yeah, I mean, I'll just start going forward then. But I do
Then-
want to use one of these invocations.
Yeah, you will see this man kind of nod to Rastavan, and then immediately sprint out and be taken out at the legs as he falls down howling, and then another arrow just kind of punctures the top of his skull. But Rakote, that kind of buys you a short window as the arrows are trained on the man.
Sure. I'd ask if this is stealth or athletics, but that doesn't really matter for me.
Yeah, it's a +2 shoot challenge. I would say either stealth or athletics.
Okay, they're the same skill, so.
Okay, no problem. So you will be able to make it through.
All right, cool beans. Yeah, as I feel like there's a shot of him taking the arrow, and as he goes down, there's just the silhouette on the wall of Rakote's moving through the smoke, barely having waited for him, knowing that they're gonna have to re-notch those arrows. So the faster he gets in there, the better.
Yeah, your hobbling feet are able to kind of pad their way across the cobblestone. Technically, that was your movement. Your action could also get you in the actual forge zone. Would you like to do so, or do you have an action?
Yeah, I would do that. I'll get into the forge.
Okay. In which case, you kind of emerge on the other side of smoke and shouts to a very large forge. It seems to have been situated kind of in a central area of the town, with about 6 or 7 bellows, all active in a large centralized furnace that seems to be feeding all of them. And from the outside, it seems unoccupied.
Okay.
From the outside,
Yep.
seems safe. Seems like it's a sure thing.
Meanwhile, the ringing will continue, and then it will just be cut short, as on the other side of town, a plethora of rats start spilling out from gates that are just slowly being closed. They don't seem to have enough time, as a few hundred rats spill into the central square. Those soldiers will move forward. These ones are going to fight this guy, so there will be a shot of the Pale Lady as you are... Oh man, I fucked up. Pale Lady, real quick, give me an athletics against a 5 shoot.
I'd rather not.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I was using the advantage. Not bad.
Not bad.
As they kind of, from up above, you see them kind of press their advantage and start shooting into that little alcove you found. And just as it seems like they're going to continue that hailstorm, a number of swords erupt on the other side and kind of slay the people here that were going to charge you.
How convenient for me. Thank you.
And then they will recognize who you are, and you can see that their blades are now pointed in your direction.
Not bad.
Yeah.
If anything, now they're focused. During their rain, they're hydrated.
From behind you, Crow, you will hear just these kind of loud, plodding footsteps as Nyx runs forward, vaults, climbs up the ladder, and kind of stations himself at the top of this building, looking directly at you. And it's your turn, Crow.
I'm going to zoom into this space.
Okay.
I am going to attack the 1 value fellow.
Okay. Challenge of 1. Dead. What happens as you dig your knife into him? Or sorry, your javelin?
Crow just moves like a ghost across zones, and the hook drags across his neck like silk.
Yeah, perfect. Do you have any other movement you'd like to do? You have 2 left.
Yeah, to about here.
Okay. You will just hear the shouts of "coward" from the smoke as Nyx tries to get eyes on you. Rostavan.
All right. I'm gonna move across. Let's see. Actually, I'm not gonna move across yet. I'm gonna burn the other body, the other guy.
Okay. So currently there's one you could try to re-up. That you'd only be able to tap it for one use, even if you refresh it, though. It's the same aspect.
I'm just doing it for Lucas.
Challenge of 0. Go for it. Okay, yeah, there are currently 3. Not bad.
All right, cool. And if I'm able to move...
Yep, go ahead.
What was it, athletics or...
Or stealth. Challenge of 2.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Cross-cycle.
Yeah. Not bad. Allowing the smoke to fill seems like a good thing, and on top of that, you throw another body onto the pyre as more smoke billows, and you charge across. Plenty of arrows being fired into the smoke, but all of them passing harmlessly overhead. Until you emerge on their side and about run over Rakote, who is situated directly in front of the forge.
All right. Well, let's go home.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear this music, huh?
There we go.
Really?
Arnoux
That's
is...
what I told you. They're different volumes. The other one was you should have turned your volume up.
It was all the way up.
Oh well.
Arnoux, following your movement, Crow is going to come back into this zone and shout out another provoke to cause damage. Challenge 3. Okay, 2 will. He'll shout out, "No more hiding! You've demanded my attention and you'll have it. Show yourself!" Just kind of trying to play to your pride. You will hear him through the smoke. Meanwhile, you have a 2 shoot from this guy coming down at you. Okay. Pangs uselessly against a chimney nearby. Pale Lady, another 3 shoot coming your way.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah, from their high vantage point over here, you just don't seem to be able to get away from the bolts that continue to rain down on you. These will go here. These go here. Rakote.
Would I be able to use rapport to try to create an advantage?
I'm going to give you something to play with there because I think we're on the same wavelength.
Okay.
Do you enter the forge?
I do, yeah.
Okay. You come into the forge and it is just as expansive as I described before. You cannot imagine there isn't a single tool or implement that couldn't be created in this forge. But kind of pulling your attention to the far end of it, you see a woman kind of looking forward with a bastard sword drawn directly in your direction. And she will say, "That forge is the beating heart of our city. I won't let you destroy it."
All right. Yes. So I guess changing my target, because this might make a little bit more sense than Lucas, who's already being helpful. Can I use rapport to attempt to make this woman helpful?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a little steep.
Okay.
Rapport challenge of 3.
I don't know how I came in here with 1 fate point.
Yeah, that can't be possible. Wasn't that a rest? Or did we not do the full? I thought we rested.
No, you got the full rest. Did you use it? There's no reason you would have used it. So yeah, go ahead and refresh.
I was gonna say I don't think I refreshed my fate points because I literally walked into tonight like, all right, I've got 3 fate points. I know the 3 things I'm gonna attempt to get done with them. And then my heart sank when I saw that I had one because I could not for the life of me remember what I used him for. I'm like, didn't we just rest? What did I immediately? I used a fate point to open a Werther's original. Like, what the fuck?
I did get your Venmo payment,
You get
so
to the front. You get to the front counter of the convenience store with an arm full of stuff because there's no carts in a convenience store and your wallet's just empty. So you have to put it all back.
Yep.
yeah.
It's a very ample description.
Yeah.
All right. So let's try this first flat. Okay.
Okay. So challenge of 3.
All right. So challenge of 3. Can I tap for better or worse to make a lasting impression to make this succeed?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you say?
So Rakote will say to the woman, "We have not come here to bring any harm to the forge. In fact, we've made a pilgrimage across the entire island to use this magnificent vessel."
She will kind of sneer a bit and say plainly, "For what?"
He'll say, "What is any great..." Bleh, bleh, and he throws up on his shoes. He'll say, "What is any great forge used for? To change the tide of battle."
That's just what I'm worried about, Edith will say. She doesn't make any attempt to attack you, but I'd say just, like, give her a kind of a directive.
Sure. He says, "And like any good smith, you make the choice now to decide, are you on the winning side or the losing side?"
I'm on whatever side gets you out of here quicker. And you will see her blade drop a bit slowly. So that'll be a +2 advantage, as Edith is very familiar with this forge.
Excellent.
So 1 use of that. The rats will devour this man entirely, becoming a +5. And they will begin marching across this zone, killing another man as they do so.
Jesus Christ.
And just when it seems as if the gates are going to close, just before they do, another swarm kind of presses its way up, kind of filling the slots in between the gate, which eventually comes closed with a loud kind of thud. And now there are 2 rat swarms kind of occupying this space. Pale Lady?
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, another 3 fight coming your way.
Right.
Nice.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, they're faithful that kind of try to funnel down this narrow passageway. What do you do to avoid them?
I do a sweet kickflip. No, it's probably just like her long lithe body. She's able to kind of contort around the space in ways that they're not. It's very. It's almost like a lizard. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of moving up the walls and using her fin to move out of arm's reach.
Yeah, and I think since it's a tie, you'll eventually come to a head when there is a dead end directly ahead of you, and you see that up above is an escape, but it'll kind of take a moment as you turn around and see all these people pressing in at you. Nyx is going to use his turn to jump over the few remaining areas and square up on the other side of you, Crow. His steady breathing kind of being measured by his equally careful gaze. Pale Lady?
Does this really only have 1 health?
Yes.
All right. And is this is just a free? I can move in.
Yep.
I'm sure he's going to try to contest it, but
Yep.
I'm going to try to.
Okay. He will have a physique of 2.
Against athletics, correct?
Yep.
Excellent.
Nice. Okay. It does not consume one of your movements. You're able to do so. Kind of leaping overhead.
She uses her, posture, and she's able to kind of leap like a frog up with enough verticality to make it onto the next ledge as they're approaching. And then I'm going to try to... I'm going to try to command... Who is this? Is this
Yeah,
just a...
it's a group of church folks.
Okay,
Since these
okay,
are more
that's
of a
what I...
mob, I'll allow you to act against all of them.
All right. They're a mob. I guess I'll have the mob attack Arnoux.
And they will do so.
Excellent.
They will deal a point of damage to Arnaud, whose attention is called immediately back to the battlefield as a number of soldiers march on him, sending their spears directly through the smoke.
Yeah, the pale lady will kind of recoil in her little high ground nest as she's breathing heavily.
All right. Crow.
Crow spots the gate through which an ocean of mice are pouring.
Yep.
And then his eye will flick up to Nyx. And he'll do one of those calculations in his head as he slides down the shingling on the sides and goes to try to sprint, make it to here.
Okay. He will try to take one of your movements with... Actually, it wouldn't matter because you could still move two, so you're fine. You can do so.
All right.
You're fine. You can do so.
And then he will whirl around and over this person's shoulder, cast his bone spear to try and impale Nyx.
Okay. Yeah. Athletics of... What's Nyx? Athletics of 2.
Okay, I'm gonna utilize Color's Implements. I'm gonna Fate Point. I'm gonna invoke that.
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll now. Wait, I just have to add a 2, don't I?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
Let's do that.
Oh, but I could succeed with style on a reroll, possibly, if I get
should.
You should.
At all
also-
positive.
You'd also be remembered too if you did that.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'd be
but
remembered. Fuck you!
That's literally just.
Same thing. You will have one invocation on Nyx. As describe to me what happens.
He jumps across buildings, now no longer using any walkways. Dips, ducks, and dives, and then whirls and hurls the harpoon again over this one, just past the shoulder to jam into whatever he can of Nyx.
Yeah,
and then
it'll be
starts to-
his best plate.
Starts to dig his heels in as he starts pulling.
Nyx will just kind of grunt as the steel tip of this pierces his breastplate, and he will see what you're doing, and he will say, "Oh, I'm coming, don't you worry." And Rostavon.
All right, so this lady is thanks for Kote agreed to help us, huh?
Yep. It's a one invocation of a Forge Smith or Forge Master.
All right.
And then we've got the +2 from Lucas. Do you have crafts, Sean?
I do.
And then if I wanted to give up my turn to help Sean, am I able to do that now?
Do you have crafts?
You know
Yes.
what? I don't think my craft should apply to this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I've probably tried this a million times myself, and that's specifically what it's made against. So I don't think my crafts count.
Woof. All right. High order. So currently, Lucas doesn't have free invocations. You'd have to use the fate point. Edith is
that's right. It's
offering
not
a +2.
invocation.
So you'd be rolling with both of those at a +4 flat. That's just something to keep in mind. And it will cost you a fate point to get to the +4.
But I've got a +1 if you want to wait for my turn.
I don't even know if I should be able to roll on it.
Okay.
I just want you to be the one who actually rolls the... Oh, fuck it,
do?
fine. No, fine. No, that's fine. So what do you want to do with your turn then, Rostavon?
I would attempt to create an advantage.
Cool.
I would want to try to at least heat up the forge, maybe, so it's faster, because you do have to heat up a forge before it can actually be functional.
Great. Yeah, you see a meager flame already situated there, but maybe with your abilities you could get it going. I'd set the challenge at a 2.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so a temporary boost as your
Okay.
hands kind of plunge into the hot coals, and they immediately turn a crisp white.
Okay, so if it's added to, then that means it's like it needs to be used immediately then.
Yep. So it's going to be probably on Rakote's turn.
Okay, got it. That's fine, I guess.
Okay. Arnoux is going to move up here and flank you. Crow. Go ahead and give me a will against a 3.
As he digs in and sees Nyx is approaching and sees that Arnoux has decided to continue, I'm finally going to make use of the dose of opium to
Nice.
undo all of the previous mental stress.
Nice.
Crow's going to pop that out of his jacket and swallow it as he realizes Mr. Charlie is going to continue making his life annoying.
Yeah, you feel the kind of immediate relief of the opium that clouds your vision for just a second, but then makes you feel sharp. There's an edge to it. And kind of in this heated, elevated position with 2 giants on your side, you seem a bit more ready. And he is going to shout out with a 3 provoke. I thought I know you. I'm sure I don't. So tell me why you've chosen to throw your life away.
Crow mutters in a kind of stupor as the opiate floods his brain with chemicals. Intend to feed you.
You're not speaking sense. I'm used to the type. This island's full of them.
As his pupils dilate, Crow will begin to pull in Nyx, and in response to Arnoux, his pupils wide as shit, but not actually looking at Arnoux, just go,
Amazing. This man is going to fall back. This one is going to get on the ground. Actually, no, he's got these people to shoot at. He's going to do so and kill them. One moment. All right. Rakote.
All right. So now, utilizing Rostovan's boost, Lucas's, I'll use a fate point to invoke Lucas.
Okay.
And the free invocation from Edith. I would like to try to break Rostovan's chains.
Okay. Challenge of 6.
Challenge of 6. So all we have to do is not roll negative, you motherfucker. So
Don't say that.
It's 2, 2, and 2. Okay, so plus 6. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Next turn. Starting your next turn, he will be free.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we start working. I guess being the one that's rolling, I'm kind of coordinating the other two. Edith, being the expert, is probably more. I imagine she's probably doing most of like the actual forge work to get our tools ready as Lucas and I start trying to break this thing.
Yeah. Lucas will see Edith's work and say, "Cutting it a bit close, aren't you? I want him to keep all 5 of his fingers." He will, she says, just kind of looking down. And then all of you are going to get out of here. But you do see that work is being done, and undoubtedly Rostavan will be free.
All right, excellent.
The rat pile grows ever more as the second wave moves in, and both of these are consumed. Behind your back, Crow, you hear the incessant whines and squealing of thousands of rats that all seem to be abutting the side of this building. These hungry mouths kind of crying out to you as they continue working on the flesh below them. It is your turn, Nyx. He is going to charge forward and with a forefight, just kind of leap directly for your head.
I will not take a single hit tonight in this battle.
Very nice. As he just completely goes askew and smashes into the roof of the building, his blade getting stuck before he momentarily pulls it back out, sending parts of it skittering to the ground below, kind of pelting the rats as he does so.
Crow's going to use him as a ballast to, like, jump back and use him as the weight to, like, swing around and avoid the attack.
Yeah, perfect. Pale Lady.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take a moment to heal myself.
Yeah, smart. Jesus. Yeah, 1 box up to 5.
Great.
You heal 1 stress.
I spit on my wound. Yeah, her sort of fins and scales sort of shift unnaturally and cover up, kind of these seeping wounds of taken from like stray bullet shots or splinters, stifling the bleeding.
Perfect. Yeah, there's a momentary kind of peace here on the other side of the battle, and when you look forward, you hear that most of the signs of conflict on this side have completely abated. Crow.
Crow will use Caught in the Mire to roll physique and move the impaled prey from their current zone to an adjacent zone. I would like to use the leverage to push Nyx into the pile of 2 giant rats.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
Do it.
His physique is a 2, so do what you will.
Utilize my free invocation. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Because in the rules of it, as has been approved, on a tie, I lose the impalement, but, I succeed in the attempt.
Good job writing that. I agree. That is how it is written. So describe to me the horror with which Nyx realizes he's being tossed.
I think it's gonna be like a continuous motion off of the previous thing where I reeled him in and he did me the favor of covering 2 zones for me, which Crow uses to perfectly jump out of the way, get behind him, and boot him off the roof into the street below where the 2 Rat Kings have congrued.
Okay, yeah, you will see a kind of shock of awareness as he is thrown down below and takes an immediate 1 stress as he is just consumed in this wide bevy of rats. You just see his hand kind of reach up through them. And on his turn, he'll be dealing with 5. He'll have 2 health left at the beginning of his next turn.
When he's high, Crow seems to let loose a bit because he is taking the moment to sort of gloat and he has got 1 knee perched up on the edge of the roof and his elbow rested on that knee and is watching with wide, gleeful eyes as Nyx falls into the ocean of rats.
Yeah,
he
will
is
shout out.
Visibly bragging.
You'll just hear the quick, short shout of Lawbringer as he is falling, and then nothing. Rostavan.
All right. Just for the thematic thing, you could tell me if I could do this or not, but I want to attempt to burn the rest of my way out of these because, or
hell yeah,
something. Just for the image of this, because he is so ready to get these things off of his hands after having them on there for years.
Yeah, Edith is going to look over at Lucas and say, "Stop feeding the bellows, it's hot enough." "I'm not." And then it'll just be a shot of you, Rostavan.
It's these things are, as they start to break free, the cracks that they're creating in the thing are just spilling out light and smoke. And if you want me to roll for it, I can, but if not,
Oh no, it happens.
okay.
Yeah.
He'll finally the last either Lucas or Herd they give a swing, and that's all it's needed. And like an animal that cannot wait to be freed of a collar or something around it, he just rips his hands out of the things and sends this strange eldritch molten metal flying, killing everyone in the room simultaneously.
Oh shit!